All right, welcome. Welcome to the top pitch presented by TiE in PACT. I'm Dean Miller, the president and CEO of PACT, and I want to welcome you to our event this afternoon. It's great to see so many of you plugged in. If you haven't participated before in a remote session, you're in for some fun. I am going to just give you a little sense of what's going to happen today, and I'm going to introduce a couple of our folks. We have 5 companies each that are going to have 5 minutes to present. There'll be time for Q&A. We've got some tremendous judges you're going to meet here shortly. You'll see a timer actually for the pitch, so our entrepreneurs will have to pay close attention to that. And we'll certainly have to cut the companies off. Hopefully that won't happen if they exceed that time. We'll have some networking time. It'll be very natural for you to go back into your tables to network. As you saw, there are tables where you can meet the entrepreneurs that are presenting. We have 2 floors. If we maximize the space, feel free to go to the 2nd floor and grab a table. We'll come back into presentation mode after our judges' deliberation, and then there'll be more networking time. So that's a little bit of an overview of what's going to happen today. We're really excited to present this program on a regular basis. And we're really excited to have as our partner TiE Philadelphia. TiE Philadelphia has been a tremendous partner, really advocating for entrepreneurship in this region and beyond. As you know, they are an international organization. And of course, we couldn't do this without great support. I want to first call out Osage Venture Partners, a sponsor of today's program, and Nate Lenz, a longtime PACT board member and former chairman, who will be one of the judges today. As well as Comcast Lift Labs, who's been, again, a steady partner to TiE and PACT in this program. We obviously typically would be in person at the Comcast Center, future time. It is now my pleasure to introduce KJ Singh. KJ is the managing director of the Techstars Comcast Lift Labs program. Welcome, KJ. KJ, just need to turn your camera and mic on to present. Might be having a little bit of technical difficulty with KJ. KJ, you have to turn your camera and mic on to join the presentation. And while you're figuring that out, Doc, if you wouldn't mind joining the presentation again, click your camera and mic on. That would be great.
Well, thanks, Dean. It's hard to believe that this event is, while our first virtual one is approaching 3 years. So I think we've had some great success. Some great companies have come through here, several of which have received funding, several of which have been lion's share companies. So it's really a strong partnership, and look forward to a great future. So what I wanted to do quickly is introduce our esteemed judges, really top-notch judges that we managed to get for this event. I want to start with Mark McAdoo, who is a fellow TiE charter member. He is the CEO of SourceEdge Solutions, and Mark is a 5-time healthcare entrepreneur, sold his last company to McKesson, and really one of kind of under the radar, but solid entrepreneurs in the region. Our next judge is Margaret Bradley, who is the VP of Strategic Initiatives at Ben Franklin Technology Partners. So for those entrepreneurs out there who haven't heard of Ben, they will, because Ben is often the first institutional capital of choice for the startup community. Margaret has a particular focus on ESG and impact type initiatives at Ben, and we're very pleased to have her. And last but not least, we have Nate Lenz, who is the managing partner at Osage Venture Partners, really one of the great early stage investors in the region, funded a lot of the successful companies that have come through here. So very happy to have him. And we've been trying to get Nate for a while to participate, and I think thanks to COVID, I was able to lock him down on this, and he hasn't been on the road trying to find the next great entrepreneur. So want to welcome the judges, and I'm going to hand it back over to KJ, who will then hand it over to the host. So KJ, welcome aboard.
Great, thanks so much, Doc. And I'm not sure what happened, technical difficulties here. But for those of you that don't know, my name is KJ Singh, and I'm a managing director here at Techstars. And Techstars is an early stage mentorship-driven accelerator, and we're the worldwide network that helps entrepreneurs succeed. I've been a part of Techstars for nearly 8 years, but for the past 2 years, I've been responsible for the program that we run in partnership with the Lift Labs team at Comcast NBC Universal in Philadelphia. And the founders that participate in this specific program get access to mentors, not just from Techstars, but also mentors from Comcast, from NBC, from Universal, and Sky. And for this specific program, we look for companies that are innovating in the connectivity, media, and entertainment industries. And earlier this month, we wrapped up our 3rd annual program. We had 11 companies that participated from all over the world. Most of those companies are completely heads down with fundraising. And one of those companies, actually, Seshie, is presenting today for you today. And for those of you that are interested in next year's program, our applications, or if you know founders that are interested and would be a fit, our applications will open in early 2021. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Aljit Joy. And again, sorry about some technical difficulties on my end. Excited to see the event today.
Great, thank you, KJ, and thank you to everyone who's dialed in. We've got about 72 folks as of last count on my monitor attending and viewing this. So thank you to everyone who's taken time out of their day. And as Dean mentioned earlier, TiE is a global organization with locations around the world, and mainly geared to helping entrepreneurs succeed. And that's what we try to do locally in every chapter, through education, through networking, through mentoring, through funding, and through incubation. And we've been running this event, Top Pitch, for 4 years, every quarter. And the winning pitch to entry into PACT Capital Conference, usually held around September. So we've had tremendous success. Companies and winners, not just the winners, but other companies that have pitched through here, raised over $4 million over the last count that I just looked at. And companies, there have been 2 exits that I know of that have been acquired by other companies. So we've been really fortunate to select some great companies at the right stage for investors to identify great companies, but also for entrepreneurs to find those investments. But I definitely want to thank the judges, as Doc just mentioned, and I'll participate. Right now, I would like to welcome Ascencio and CEO Kevin Brown, who will be our first presenter.
Can you hear and see me?
You're good to go, Kevin.
Good to go? Great, excellent. I'll get started. Thanks for having me, and thanks, Aljit, for the introduction. My name is Kevin Brown, President and CEO of Accencio. So who is Accencio? Accencio is a tech company driving innovation specifically through the use of intellectual property. Our products sit at the nexus of molecular science and IP. The problem we've identified is that organizations have a very difficult time using IP to its fullest potential. And our focus is the biopharmaceutical industry, where, interestingly enough, 90 to 95% of all pharma patents and patent applications never produce value in the form of marketable products or other related revenue. So right now, our customers are using our products in the biopharmaceutical industry to generate strategic value and monetizable opportunities. Now, the purpose of our current raise is our transition from being a tech-enabled services company to a subscription-based company with the launch of our IP Geoscape product. Now, this is the IP Geoscape product here. And the product has been available since 2017 in a professional services environment, and now we're transitioning it for independent use by researchers, attorneys, and business development professionals in the biopharmaceutical industry. We make a library of these IP Geoscape small and large molecule molecular landscaping products, and organizations use them to drive a lot of their intellectual property activity. So what we're looking for right now is $500,000, and that's specifically for the the go-to-market activities associated with the IP Geoscape product. We have a very specific plan, some things we're planning to do, and also around the further development of the product. There's some next level development we'd like to do with respect to independent customization for users and things of that nature. To date, we've raised $85,000. So the market opportunity for this company and this product looks like this. We're an intellectual property software and services company, yes, so that is the core of the opportunity. And you can see here, that's an $8 billion, estimated $8 billion opportunity or market size. But because of the products that we sell and the organizations and the customers that we're selling to, Ascencio is a multi-market opportunity. And you can see we're playing in pharma licensing, patent analytics, molecular modeling, and drug discovery technology. All told, when you take all that together, Ascencio's total addressable market is north of $4 billion. So this is what we've done thus far. You can see from our inception, we are a revenue generating company, although most of that revenue has been through tech-enabled and professional services. And you can see here by 2023, what we're estimating is that north of 80% of our revenue will be born out of the subscription product. Some professional services still, of course, we're in the biopharmaceutical industry, so we'll always have some professional services there. And we also expect patents, licensing, and royalty revenues. Our go-to-market plan is fairly straightforward. It includes traditional inbound and integrated marketing, direct sales, things of that nature. But a large percentage of what we plan to do and the majority of the revenues that you saw there in 2023 are born out of channel partner opportunities where we plan to not only sell through our channel partners, but also integrate the product into their products. And the potential channel partners for Ascencio cross multiple verticals. Data analysis companies, drug discovery technology, even molecular modeling. In many of these areas, we've already started talking to various organizations. Probably before the end of this year, we should have our first channel partner signed, and that would be in the data analysis company section. And that particular partner has a user base north of 28,000. So why invest in Ascencio? Well, there are many value creation inflection points. I can speak to those. Our patent portfolio, we have 2 issued patents, 7 pending applications, many proprietary algorithms. Some of those patents we're actively seeking to license right now as we speak. The repository of smart tag IP data. We're building this database of molecular and IP information that will be monetizable. And I spoke to the fact that Ascencio is a multi-market potential opportunity, but also industry opportunity. Any molecular-based industry is a candidate for value creation by Ascencio. But on the exit opportunity side, and I give you a couple of examples here of some of the recent activity in the markets in which we play, we see Ascencio exiting in the 5 to 7 year time frame, probably to a strategic or a competitor, but you can see here the values of some of the recent transactions that have happened. And lastly, I'll bring up the team. We're a very experienced team, north of 100 years plus of combined years plus of industry experience, computational chemistry, legal, IT, business development. So this is the team that helped us start the company and the team that will take it forward to where it plans to go. So with that being said, I'll thank you for your time and I'll take your questions.
Thank you, Kevin. Judges, if you could turn your microphone and camera on, please.
Kevin.
You have 5 questions.
Oh, Kevin, this is Nate Lenz from Osage. First of all, congratulations on building this business on $85,000 in capital. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about who your target customer is and who the buyer is at that customer?
Yeah. So the target customer first is the biopharmaceutical company, large and small, followed by potentially academia, hospital research center, so on and so forth. And the target customers at these organizations look like this: research scientists, medicinal chemists, pharmacologists, individuals like that. business development and licensing, of course, and also legal professionals, specifically your IP attorneys.
Got it. And just a quick follow-up. When you built this product, how much input did you have from your services customers that you'd been working with over the last couple of years? Was this sort of a logical outcome of that work?
Yeah. So when we started the company, the product was available, but it was available in a sort of a custom solutions environment. So we had the chance to work with our current customers and potential customers, and even before we launched the company, individuals that we know and organizations that we know to help us build the product in the way that they would be most useful to them.
Kevin, more quick question. Can you give a specific sort of example of a use case of how the platform is currently being used, and if any of your existing customers have experienced sort of a return on investment from the platform that you can share with us?
Sure. So I'll give you one specific, very quick use case, which was interestingly enough, it was a business development and licensing use case where the customer wanted to out-license a set of patents. We were able to use IP Geoscape on their behalf to identify the licensing partners. Not only that, but because of the way the product is built, you can identify not only where there are similar claims and patents, but where there may be overlapping claims. And in this particular case, the licensing target was literally making molecules and claiming them in patents that were covered by the patents of our customer. So we were able to set them up together. They went into a joint venture, and our customer was able to externalize a portfolio of patents that they would have just sold for pennies on the dollar. And now they have some downstream revenue coming in through that joint venture.
Are you going to be able to
go ahead?
Sorry, quick follow-up. You think you will be able to convert your tech-enabled services customers to a software as a service platform customer when available?
Yeah, we're doing it now. So we have those customers right now. They're in the free trial of our product, and some of them are beginning to convert as we speak. Yes, I do.
And Kevin, can you speak to what you understand about sales cycle? That was pretty quick ramp up with large institutional buyers.
Sure. So we've just started the process of selling this product, I would say mid-October, the product, and that was pre-sales. So we officially launched the product this week, the official marketing launch of the product. And that pre-sales activity right now, it's looking like they've been in the free trial period for about 3.5 weeks or so. So we're looking to close some of those first sales before the end of the year. So right now, I'm saying we're looking at maybe 4 to 6 weeks right now in terms of the overall sales process, but hopefully through some of our activities moving forward, that will begin to come down significantly.
What's the pricing model, and what's sort of the typical customer deal size?
Yeah. So right now, let me bring this up. The product is being sold. Here you go. So the go-to-market pricing right now is $5,000 per workbook. So we've created what is essentially a library of these IP geoscapes, and we sell them per workbook, and there's also a seat cost associated with it. The first seat comes with the workbook, and each additional seat is $2,000 thereafter. Does that answer your question, or was there additional piece to it?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. Yep.
Kevin, how important is this broad library or data set, and how large is your current data set versus sort of what you think you need to have to really deliver the vision of your product?
Sure, I can answer the second piece. And when you say how important is it, what is it that you're asking in terms of the data set? How you said how important?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a sense of just, you talk about having an IP-driven outcome that sort of is built on this data set, and obviously when you're driving that, you need a data set of a certain scale to be able to drive value to your customers. So how do you accumulate that data, and how large a data set do you need?
Yeah. So in terms of accumulating the data and how large of a data set that we need, there are hundreds of or even thousands of biological targets. The way we've structured our library is in two ways. We've identified those targets, biological targets that we found to be of most interest to industry. So we set out to create a library that hit the top 100 pharmaceutical companies, which encompassed greater than 60 to 70% of the potential users that we've identified across the researchers, business development professionals, and legal professionals. So that's how we structured the library, and also looking at which biological targets were of greatest interest from a velocity perspective, the amount of patents being filed, the amount of interest in the area, things of that nature. So the goal is by the end of the first year, we will have eclipsed maybe 80 to 85% of all those areas that are of greatest interest to the world, to the biopharmaceutical industry world at large. But the other thing we're doing right now, and this is part of our pre-sales activity, whenever we talk to a customer, oh, there you go.
You can finish your sentence.
Okay. Yep. Whenever we talk to a customer, we always ask, and we have gotten the feedback, which targets they're interested in, and we're adding those to the library as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Our next presenter is Metispro, and Vigyan, if you could come on with the camera on, microphone on, and then share your screen. And Kevin, if you could take your screen off, that would be awesome. Perfect. And Vigyan, it's all yours, and your time starts now.
All right, thank you, LG. Can you see my screen?
We're all set.
All right, so all right, well, thank you, everybody. This is a really great platform, which I was just introduced to, so I thought I'll pitch in it. My name is Vigyan Kaushik, and I'm a founder of a company called Metispro. We are outside of Philadelphia. We started this company with a mission to enable small businesses, small and mid-sized businesses to sell more on the e-commerce as well as on in-store platform. We started company in 2015, end of 2015, and we have about 200 customers, and we have customers now in 32 states. Actually, I'm having a little bit of an issue with this. I'm sorry, I had to actually change my presentation style here. So far, we have raised about $1.6 million, and we're looking for $500,000 to finish the our break-even point, to reach the break-even point. One of the reasons we started this company was that I personally got involved in a restaurant operation and ran basically 3 restaurants, and kind of realized that I was missing something on the point of sale side. And that's where we started thinking about a POS system and build this tool for our own use. And little later realized that we needed this for, we can take this to the market. And we got out of the restaurant business and started building the point of sale system. And we got our first customer in 2015 with the approach that we thought will really be needed in the market. And that is basically an integrated solution. A solution that really bring different modules together, the inventory, the scheduling, reservation, invoicing, and things of that nature. This also provides small businesses to bring all these different data that they're collecting from different systems into one centralized database that they can use for different activities, forecasting, and things of that nature. This is our product. There's a iPad-based solution and also Android-based solution and the e-commerce end of it. So one thing that we realized when we were building this solution is that when we originally built the solution and started scaling it after deploying for about 100 customers or so, our cost was going pretty high. So we kind of revisited the solution and found some enterprise level open source software to bring the cost down, and that's kind of what we're using now in the new product that we have just recently launched. I'm having a little bit difficulty here, I'm sorry. Our sales model is very much driven by the distributor. In the beginning, we tried to do direct sales, but then that model didn't really work well. So we started getting into subscription-based models. And we have signed up right now 5 different distributors. Our largest distributor has they did a trial on our product, and after deploying for about 50 customers, they have actually bought a $250,000 worth of subscription from us to help us to scale the product and our support. This customer has also, this distributor has also committed to us giving almost 50 to 70 clients every month starting February 1st. Right now, they have 500 sales agents in the country that they wanted to introduce this product to. Our sales model is one-time configuration, recurring, and add-on, and we have also other services that are white labeling and other things. We have actually sold our first white label software as well. Our growth opportunities in 2021 is that we're introducing product in February to almost 400 agents, and we have built a national partnership with a logistics company to be able to deliver food and other groceries and other products that are being sold on our platform.
Time.
Right. Okay. Well, so this is our competitors. We got a lot of different options here compared to our other competitors. And again, it goes back to our integration team. This is our management team that has experience with working in other different large organizations. Thank you for the opportunity.
Judges, please turn on your cameras and yeah, perfect.
A quick question. Given the importance of sort of the e-commerce capability of a point of sale device, given COVID, have you built out a robust e-commerce capability where orders can be done online and paid for, and then curbside pickup?
Yes, we have recently launched a QR-based payment that has been deployed for about 25 businesses recently in the last 2 months, and has been actually one of the hot selling item for our customers right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My interest in this company is really a lot in that shift and what you've been able to do. In the restaurant industry, it seemed like there were some other early adopters. Can you give us a little bit more about how COVID is creating opportunity for you, and does that change who the buyers may be?
Yes, absolutely. So our largest partner who has invested and has bought subscription from us is primarily due to the same reason. They are looking for an e-commerce platform that can really help. I think the COVID has given everybody sort of a chance to rethink about the online ordering. In the past, we have struggled when we talked about online ordering with customers. They were like not always ready. But this has definitely changed a lot. It's a different mindset, and I think pretty much everybody wanted to have an online presence or some sort of online store, or even like the stores that never thought, even now certain states are considering liquor being online as well. So it's a big mind shift that is definitely changing the landscape, and we have been extremely busy bringing customer online recently with this change.
When you talk to customers about what you do versus other players in the market, because there must be dozens of point of sale companies targeting the restaurant industry. What are some of the 3 points that you say, this is what makes us different?
So one of the biggest point that really started this whole project was the integration. There are a lot of companies, it's a very crowded space, but at the same time, there are not very many companies that are providing an integrated solution. So if you buy a point of sale system from one company, then you have to go to other company for online. If they do online, then you have different platform needs. They may not have a QR payment. So now there are companies that have really started just the QR payment integrating with the POS systems. So I think the integration is a big factor that really driving the momentum and the interest in our product.
Have you created sort of a loyalty program component to your device point of sale?
Yes, that's another thing. And we have some enterprise client. We have 14 location franchisee that really uses our loyalty program across the franchise, across different locations. So you go to one location and you can use your point to other location. And that's again goes back to our integration approach, because if you go online or you go to store, you can still kind of use your points. And that's really helping to keep the data together.
You really should be congratulated on the number of customers you've signed to date. Can you just talk a little bit about your background and what sort of got you to this?
Sure. Well, I'm from IT background, and I really wanted to do something different than what I was doing back then. I thought I had a lot of time, so it's me and my wife started thinking about going for a restaurant project, and that changed our life. So now having a lot of time, and we got completely into a different world, and that really made us to think like what exactly the small businesses are going through. We did very well with the restaurant business. We started 3 restaurants, and during those restaurants we wrote the application, this is then we closed on the restaurant and got into this business. So we went through a big sort of learning curve for this project.
Mm-hmm. So policymakers are trying to figure out how to keep small businesses afloat. Is there any part of your strategy that considers how states, the SBA or others may be a purchaser, or does that not fit what you see as your kind of critical path?
Well, from exit standpoint?
I mean, the Small Business Administration's put a lot of money into trying to figure out how it might get small businesses to capture some e-commerce business where they're otherwise drowning under the weight of it. Does that create opportunity for you all?
Oh, it does, and that's really another sort of shift in the market that a lot of our customers are now asking. We have some liquor stores as our customer in New York City. Now they're actually selling liquor online as well. So it's definitely, the whole online push has definitely helped us a lot.
And your pricing model strictly software as a service. Is there any consideration to any margin on sales with your clients?
Well, we have software as subscription, our model, but we do different deals depending who we're working with. Like for example, we have sold various 1-year licenses, 1-year subscription, 2-year subscription in advance. So we can get creative. Sometimes, especially, we have signed some customer now that they wanted to have a good promotion if they were committing to a year worth of subscriptions and things like that. So we have pretty standard subscription model, but we have different variation as to it as market needs a little bit different than just the strict model.
I don't think you shared with us what your revenue level was, and I don't know whether you're willing to, but it'd be great to either hear your revenue for 2020 and then 2021 projection, or what your growth rate was for 2020 and then what you project for 2021.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had some difficulties with my presentation, the way my full screen was taking over. So let me share my screen again. Yeah, so for 2021, we are, so this is 2021 year is also a special year for us because we're launching this product nationally with our largest partner. And I mean, I don't have 2021 projection here, but we are estimating having at least 1,500 to 2,000 customers. And our average customer subscription is close to now, with e-commerce being very important, it has reached about $150 per customer.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vikian.
Right, thank you.
Next up, I'd like to invite Oksana Sokolovsky from Roar. Oksana, if you could turn your camera and microphone on, and Vikian, if you could take your share screen off, that we appreciate it. Great. Oksana, the time's yours. We can see it.
Oksana, you're muted. You just want to take yourself off mute and start again.
I clicked, but it didn't work. Apologies. Hi, my name is Oksana Sokolovsky, and I'm a founder and CEO of Roar Augmented Reality. Augmented reality is here, and it's here to grow, and it's generating a lot of new AR content creation. Over 600 devices are ready for augmented reality, and augmented reality market is going to grow to an astonishing $198 billion industry. Why is augmented reality such a big deal? Because it's truly digital transformation for physical world. It allows you to enrich real world with digital information and brings extraordinary engagement, increased sales, and brand loyalty to the customers. Additionally, it allows you to capture data insights on consumer behavior. Use cases in augmented reality are growing tremendously. We see use cases in a variety of areas, including consumer engagement, sales and training, and entertainment. But before Roar, augmented reality rate of adoption was constrained by 3 issues. It was extremely expensive to implement, requiring technical skills to implement and costing companies a lot of dollars. It was extremely time-consuming, where a single campaign would take 6 to 12 months to create, and highly non-scalable, with campaigns often being single campaigns and non-repeatable. Roar changes that. Roar is an innovative 3-step augmented reality content management platform that allows customers to deploy augmented reality to their consumers in an easy and fast way. Roar IP allows customers to select an object, attach digital content to it, and deploy augmented reality in 3 simple steps. Roar truly democratizes AR content creation. It's cost efficient, no technical skills required. It's scalable. You can create, publish, and update campaign anytime, anywhere. And it's fast and user-friendly. Anyone can create AR in less than 3 minutes. Our product has 3 components. It has an AR editor where augmented reality is created, a scanner through which augmented reality is viewed, and data analytic module through which we can see consumer engagement with augmented reality. Customers can deliver their experiences in AR to their consumers in multiple ways. They can use a native app, they can integrate our software inside their app, or they can simply use web AR to deploy appless experience to their consumers. Our revenue model is SaaS. We have digital subscription geared towards small businesses and solopreneurs. We offer white label subscription for small and medium-sized businesses. And we also offer large enterprise subscription, where subscription depends on number of locations, number of inventory, size of inventory, and so on. And of course, we partner with a variety of companies to bring our product to market. In terms of competition, Roar does have competition, but we still stand apart from competition significantly. First of all, we're a platform, we're not a studio. Secondly, Roar is the easiest to use and the most cost-efficient solution in the market. And more importantly, we actually recognize physical objects and items, not just QR code. Our traction to date has been significant. We have more than 60,000 people on the platform. We add about 3,500 accounts to the platform every month. We're a subscription-based revenue, and we grew our revenue 10 times since we launched subscription last year. Last year, we generated $695,000 revenue. Most of it was projectized. This year, we shifted model into revenue, and this year, we're doubling our subscription revenue from last year. This round, we're raising $2 million on $8 million pre-money valuation. Our initial close has completed in October. We raised $660. Our lead is Golden Seeds, and we're continuing to raise $1.3. We work with a number of customers across, different industries. And our team is composed of Rohit and myself, co-founders of the product. Rohit and myself have been working for 15 years. And we have a development team in Ukraine focusing on our product. Recently, we also added a board advisor from Golden Seeds to our team. With that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you.
Anybody want to jump in? Quick question. A great presentation and congrats on the traction you've gained with the platform. Have you found any specific traction within an industry vertical versus being sort of general across multiple industries? Is there any one industry that is sort of a high adopter of the product?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. So while the interest is everywhere, prior to COVID, there was a lot of traction in retail physical. Now we see a lot of traction in e-commerce type business or more online, but we also see significant increase in augmented reality in topics of education. It could be schools, universities, but also museums and other forms of education.
Thank you.
You've accomplished a ton, and your sort of number of people who are subscribing on your solution is just tremendous. How do you think about monetizing those free folks into customers going forward?
Yeah, it's an excellent question because we launched as a freemium and we need to convert them to monetizing, and now we're monetizing. So the idea right now is to offer streaming opportunities. Previously, obviously, it was a conversion for physical businesses, which has been impacted by COVID. But Rohit and myself are pivoting, a feature of a product which will give people ability to stream AR and leverage this in e-commerce type setting or online retail e-commerce type of environment, which will actually have a significant driver to monetize as opposed to right now when people are waiting for physical space to come online.
You indicated that you distinguish yourself from competitors in large part based on how much more affordable this is as well. Can you speak a little bit to your pricing model and how far you've pushed that and what makes you think it's in the right spot for now?
We actually, we talk based on facts. A lot of customers come to us after they have tested multiple platforms and played with a lot of solutions and asked for quotes. And what we see is that the many other companies are driving content creation, and the cost, sometimes exceeds hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, which is simply unaffordable for small businesses, solopreneurs, medium-sized businesses, and for even large businesses. It's too much to invest to actually test the ROI. So our model is pretty simple. Our annual subscription for enterprise business is in the range of $3,000. And with that, it's not a significant investment for them to try one license. For a small business, it could be as cheap as $1,500. And then they can keep expanding. They can get more licenses on the platform. They can get more inventory, more locations. So it becomes more affordable to launch, and it scales with inventory as opposed to here's a $100,000 investment you need to do upfront. Additionally, our cost model offers retailers opportunity to implement for free and monetize in a mixed model with brands. So for example, they will implement AR solution within the retail setting and brands will leverage it. So brands will participate in paying and profit sharing, revenue sharing with the retailers, as opposed to retail picking up the significant implementation cost upfront. So that is a big driver in the model where we're not looking at this opportunistically. Can this be a one-time revenue today? We're actually looking for a longer term play, which many of our competitors don't seem to be doing.
Okay, with that, we have time. And Oksana, I want to thank you. Thank you to all the judges as well. I want to welcome Eugene Joseph from Prime Discovery. So if you could also bring up you should be good to go.
Thank you, Aldred. So hi, my name is Eugene Joseph. I'm the founder and CEO of Prime Discoveries. Prime is a microbe testing company. We've been around since 2017, and we're focused on rapid microbe panels. We build microbe panels that are massively scalable for laboratories. So labs are our customers. Right now, probably one of the biggest problems in the entire world is a lot of labs have tremendous scaling challenges associated with COVID-19. Really being able to test multiple microbes, positive, negative controls in the same sample, and not only that, just even scaling issues associated to testing with COVID. They only have a certain amount of personnel. And then also a lot of these labs are using PCR, which takes a lot of time, right? And also is more expensive. So labs are not maximizing enough revenue because, again, they don't use rapid panels. So our company has developed, I would say, the fastest COVID-19 panels. These are basically reagents that can be used within labs. These have very high accuracy, approaching 100%, using a newer technology called RT-LAMP. It allows for, it's massively scalable. It can be automated and used by labs to really scale up on the order of 500,000 to 1 million samples on a month-to-month basis. And we have a supply chain that can really support that as well too. It's externally validated, so we have sent out our reagents out to, at this point, almost 10 different groups, university partners, other labs, and they have been able to replicate the same results. We have filed for an EUA with the FDA, and also we have done validation also with New York University, which is an investor in our company. And lastly, we can support multiple sample types, so not just limited to nasal samples, we can also support saliva as well. So the unique thing here is the cost of the test we've been able to drive down significantly to actually at this point less than $5. And again, tests can be done in less than 30 minutes, and it actually helps labs generate more in revenue because they can test positive, negative controls, multiple microbes in a single run. This is an example of a validation we did internally and also with New York University Abu Dhabi, where we sent our reagents internationally, and we were able to show upwards, basically 100% accuracy on several hundred samples. In addition to that, what's very unique about us compared to other microbe testing companies, rapid companies, is we also have a metagenomics next generation sequencing infrastructure that is world-class and actually allows us to look at all the microbes in a sample. It allows us to actually understand the specific strains. So even if COVID evolves once a vaccine is available, we're able to actually track that and modify our rapid panels in real time. Our commercial model is really focused on high throughput commercial labs that are doing well over 250,000 samples on an annual basis. We can support even more. And on average, the ideal customer for us, on average, the contract value is around $5 million. We have a couple contracts right now that we're in process, but right now we're just really focused on working with a couple labs and then sort of scaling up in 2021. And again, as everyone is aware, the market opportunity specifically for COVID is significant, but we're seeing the platform technology that we have is actually applicable across many microbes, right? Not just COVID. So it's opening up a lot of opportunity for our assays. This is our founding team. So myself and my co-founder, we built up several genetic testing companies. Aggregate market value at this point is well over 500 million. One of them is also doing COVID testing right now as well too. My co-founder's background was part of Genentech research and development, and we've worked together now over 6 years. Again, several companies that we have built have exited as well. And Prime is backed by a lot of leading venture firms. We've raised several million to date. And as really what we're looking to do is we have an open convertible note round right now, looking to just add on another 500,000 really to support manufacturing. And we're advised also by leaders in genomics, metagenomics as well too. And just real quick, the roadmap for us is right now we submitted to the FDA, and really we're looking to commercialize and scale up. Thank you.
Judges, if you could turn your cameras and microphones on, please.
When I looked at Prime's website, it looked like certainly you've been around before pre-COVID. Do you have any revenue associated with other initiatives prior to COVID?
Yes, so we've primarily been focused on research development and the infrastructure. So we've actually developed several assays where we can do early detection of colorectal cancer, early detection of IBD, using actually just a saliva or gut sample, right? So really with just being able to validate those, that's incredibly valuable as an asset to a lot of companies that have actually approached us. But right now, no revenue. We've effectively been just focused on validating this assay. And we're seeing, I mean, this actually presents a tremendous revenue opportunity for us.
What's your sense of timing of the FDA approval? And is there any sort of fast track approach to that?
Yeah, so we're working with the former head of FDA diagnostics, the former head of IBD diagnostics. So he's looking at probably within the next month to 2 months. The great thing actually about us is we don't necessarily, even if it takes a little bit longer, that's okay. We can actually work with a state lab because there's another regulatory pathway in terms of CLIA. And we actually have, my co-founder actually designed a lab in Florida that will have an emergency contract with Florida State. So that's another really good, opportunity really for us going the CLIA route while we get FDA approval. And just one quick thing I wanted to add right now, FDA is actually prioritizing high throughput EUA applications. So actually we go to the top of the pile.
Is NYU in as a regular investor, or do they have any other sort of ownership or license?
Yeah, so New York University is an investor in our company. They came in as part of our last financing. And then also the former head of the genomics group at NYU was my co-founder's Arun, his former PhD advisor. And she's also the head of genomics at Abu Dhabi and a few other centers. So she's basically been helping us, with running the validations. And it's been great because we have very little cost, on our side.
You addressed this briefly, but maybe you can expand a little bit. I mean, the concern I would have a little bit is the short-term nature. I mean, we're in obviously an event now with a vaccine coming out as testing ultimately tapers down. What's the long-term viability of the business model?
Yeah, no, of course. So the interesting thing, our thesis actually is that our thesis 3 years ago, and even actually today, is that diseases associated with the microbiome are going to continue to rise, right? That's the reason why, I mean, after our genomics exit, I was like, okay, we're going to take a big bet on this. And so far, it's proved to be right. And actually, my thesis is that over the next couple of years, more infectious diseases are going to rise, right? Or you're going to have mutations in COVID, right? Once the vaccine is available, right? And, it might get weaker, right? But still, you're going to need ways to kind of test it, right? And so the way I see it is that if anything, business will continue to increase. We've seen this with the STDs as well. We've been approached by companies doing STD testing, being like, look, we're spending $40 or $20 to $30 on PCR. If you guys can do it for $10, we're on. We want to work with you, right? So STDs. That's the other thing I didn't mention. This has been more of a COVID-focused stack, but STDs. We have also built out an assay for that as well. So.
Well, your investment thesis sounds very sound, but it's kind of depressing.
I understand.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to take your time.
Yeah.
But who else is doing this? Like, are there other people as you're going into labs who you're competing with for, really sort of speeding up these processes?
Yes, so a number of the companies in this space are actually genetic testing companies, which is what I built before. I was the head of product of one. So I understand how all of that works, but they don't come from it from a microbiome standpoint. And that's the unique value prop that we have, because actually what we've seen, I'll just end on this because I know time's up, but what we've seen actually is even the saliva collection tubes the buffer is actually incorrect for some of these as well too, right? And it's actually our domestic supplier has actually one of the best, buffers in the world, right? So, that's really what it comes down to.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to invite Kofi Frimpong from Seshie. And Kofi, if you could turn your cameras and microphone on, and also share your screen, you're good to go when you're ready. Thank you, and you have 5 minutes.
Okay, you can hear me? Everything cool? Good.
We can hear you.
Okay,
You're good.
I'll start now. I don't know if everyone can hear me, but
Okay.
okay, cool. So I'm Kofi. I'm the co-founder of Seshie. So even before COVID-19 came about, the workforce was already changing and becoming more remote. And actually, in the past 5 years, there's been a 44% growth in the remote workforce. And this is before COVID-19. So COVID-19 only accelerated this trend towards a more distributed workforce. But there's a problem when it comes to remote and distributed workforces. It's really hard to connect with your team members, and it's really hard to keep employees engaged, connected, and even building team camaraderie. So if companies want to be viable, they need to find ways to invest resources to support employee engagement, build camaraderie, and find ways to keep team members connected and really behind the ethos of their company culture. So this is why we started Seshie. Seshie is a marketplace for companies and organizations to book fun, virtual, and live team building activities. This could range from a virtual fitness session, virtual trivia, Jeopardy, cooking, or arts and craft. And even when it comes to the cooking sessions and arts and craft, these vendors on our marketplace, they'll ship materials out to your employees so that you can enjoy these types of activities. So it's a pretty straightforward product. You can come onto our platform, search for activities. You can message vendors, view their profiles, book and schedule them, and then you can just enjoy it with your team members. So we launched in October, not too long ago. We've done over 37,000 in booked revenue. We have customers including Nike, Comcast, Penn Mutual, and a lot more. So our business model, we take a 25% take rate from the sessions that happen on our marketplace. And typically our sessions range from anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, depending on the size of the company. And then we also have premium access where for $199 a month, you have access to premium activities, dashboard employee engagement analytics, and culture surveys that help suggest activities for your organization. And Seshie vets and interviews all talent that comes onto our platform. So we have over 100 experiences on there, and we take real pride in making sure that they're vetted, professional, and can conduct these sessions for organizations. And as you can see, we have categories ranging from arts and craft, cooking and drinks, but also diversity, equity, inclusion, personal development, and professional development. And our target customers are HR, human resources, people ops, culture, managers, office managers, people who are looking to consistently conduct these virtual team building activities for their team members to keep them engaged. And also, I want to add another very interesting target customer for us is salespeople who are looking for ways to entice enterprise clients through creative virtual activities. In the landscape that we're dealing with, the biggest differentiator is that we have a combination of a self-serving marketplace. So companies can come on board, search, and book these activities on themselves. And also our target is B2B. So we're targeting customers that typically have a minimum of 20 employees all the way up to thousands of employees that are trying to book these activities for their departments. And then another major differentiator is our professional categories. So rather than just having the fun activities, we have the personal development, diversity, equity, inclusion, professional. So these people that will come on live and conduct these activities in these professional and learning and development categories. Finally, thinking about it from a dashboard analytics and the HR perspective, we want to be able to connect these team building activities to employee engagement, employee happiness, so that HR has the analytics to use these and can help justify having even more activities for their team. So the corporate wellness industry is a $7 billion industry. And this new reality of a hybrid workforce is going to require people to think of creative ways to keeping team members engaged and connected. So we believe that the future of work is going to be definitely leaning more towards remote, but definitely a hybrid of in-office and also remote. So our co-founders, myself and Will, we were both previously co-founders in an agency called Socionato, where we work directly with HR teams to create video content featuring their employees and team members. And I say this to say we have a lot of experience selling to HR departments, people like, okay. And that's the end of it. And we're getting ready to raise $1.5 million. So thank you.
Thanks, Kofi. If the judges could turn your camera on and microphone on, please. And Kofi, you could take the share screen off.
Hey, Kofi, you characterized the product as differentiated from those that are really much more B2C companies. But you didn't characterize in there then how you would frame this out relative to other HR employee engagement models. Can you give us a sense of who you compete with on that side of this too?
Sure. So I would say our competitors on that side mainly are Thriver. I would look at Thriver as a potential competitor, and then also with Confetti. But the key differentiator I'd say with those is Thriver uses more of an agency model. So it's not as much a self-serving marketplace where John Doe of this company can come on, search for an activity, and book themselves. It's more so someone that they have involved that's helping to schedule and plan these activities. So they probably have larger enterprise deals than we do, but their sales cycle is a lot longer. So they're dealing with companies on that end. And then also another very key differentiator that might not be noticeable to other people, but we don't do things on a per person basis. So for organizations, you can book for up to 20 team members, up to 50, up to 100, so on and so forth. And that's really key because it helps organizations more quickly be able to book these activities, as well as for vendors to have a guaranteed minimum. So they're not doing a session and only 2 people show up and they get paid, $50 or so on and so forth. So that's our differentiator there.
Kofi, it strikes me as a platform that needs to be incredibly scalable, given how quickly you're ramping and the number of users you could have on at the same time. Tell me a little bit about how you've built the technology stack, and is it in a position now where it is scalable to the extent you're looking to grow for next year, or is that part of the investment dollars you're looking for?
No, it's definitely scalable. So what we have is a standard marketplace, right? Right now we have companies that are coming on, booking and scheduling activities. So like even yesterday, for example, we had an organization, they went on our platform. They said, okay, we have a holiday activity coming up. What can we do for our team members to enjoy? Oh, there's a trivia. Let's book this virtual trivia for our 10 team members. It costs $500. They messaged the vendor. They liked what they saw. They saw their profile. Money goes into escrow like a standard marketplace. And then after the activity is done, it gets distributed to the proper parties. So it's definitely a very scalable marketplace. The only thing that I'm more curious about is the corporate entities like Comcast that have so many different departments that I believe that we can have an enterprise model with them, which is something we'll look forward to in 2021. But as of now, this is a standard marketplace like anything else out there.
So Kofi, how do you make this sticky so that once, because you're a place that probably has great choice and great ideas, but at some point people start trying things and liking it, you get word of mouth, and like what do you do to make the companies want to keep coming back to you to drive the next event and the next event?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I would say that with the customers that we have now, I don't have to convince them to do team building activities. They already want to do it. You know, what I like to say is if you care about your employees, you're going to find ways to keep them engaged. So the types of customers we have, they're already looking to do consistent team building activities. So I think the main thing we have to do is find ways to source the most creative, the most engaging activities. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, building out our analytics platform so that these HR people, ops people can more easily sell to their team members that, hey, do you see what they're showing? That this employee engagement and happiness statistics, tying it back to the team building so that they can feel more comfortable even going to their CEO to say, we need to do this more consistently. So I think we need to provide the most engaging creative vendors. We also have to provide more analytics and pieces to the HR so that they can be able to see the real value in what they're doing through data. So that's how I see us continuing to grow and to continue to get consistent customers.
What do you see as your projected revenue for 2021?
Yeah, I would say, you know, I mean, I have very lofty expectations. So, but let me put this in perspective for you. So we have our marketplace transactions. We launched in October. We've already done 35,000 in booked revenue, and we've already started to see early SaaS customers pay for the premium subscription. So you know, I do have my projections in my head, but just to give you an idea, if we have over 500 customers that pay for our premium, that'll be over $1 million in ARR from the SaaS revenue alone, not including our marketplace GMV. So I think that we're really looking to do anywhere from 1.5 to 2 million in ARR in 2021. And I think that's a pretty reasonable expectation to have based off of the growth that we've done already since launching in October.
It's clear that this is, do we have more time? It's clear that this is very early still, but I'm curious your thoughts on exit. Is this into the world of employee assistance programs, or who wants to absorb something like this? Or what's an exit look like?
Sure. So, you know, I'll admit, like as an early stage founder, I'm passionate about what I'm doing. So I know that we're supposed to think about exits, but it's not really top of my mind.
Absolutely.
But if you're asking me, I think there's a variety of different types of companies. You could have Live Nation, for example, that does, you know, concerts and stuff, but is looking into virtual things. I think they could be a potential acquirer. But then also, like you mentioned, large HR tech companies and large employee engagement companies that are looking to add us into the systems of what they do for their customers or their clients. I think there's definitely opportunities there in HR tech, but then also anyone that's doing live concerts or virtual concerts or things of that nature that can see us as an opportunity to engage their customers in a creative way. So yeah, that would be the exit strategy. Any other questions?
Yeah, I kept thinking we were being pushed down. Wait, there you go.
We lost Aljit. He's having a little technical difficulty, but Kofi, really appreciate you participating. We're going to head back to tables to give some networking while the judges deliberate, and then we will announce a winner. So please, Danielle's going to convert us back to tables, and judges, we will meet on a separate table to discuss.
Thanks, Kofi. Good job.
Well done.